Live, by the way.
I like it. I see.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night. Hey,
It is Saturday night.
I know. That's why I went there.
You doing over there, RBP? Oh, you got your own camera. You got the clip mic or
If he's in the over, no, he does not.
Yes, but it needs to be pointed out at first.
Yeah, I'm guessing so last week.
And let me help you.
That's what she said. You want to get up in on here in your phone and check it on out, see how we're sounding. Oh yeah, there, bud.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Yeah, how we sounding before I get on up over there? Here's the clip. What's good?
Give your balls a touch.
It's just dumb.
Pause the show. My barber's calling. Can't miss that one.
Doesn't have enough hair to have a barber. It's like Usher, I'm at the studio. I'll call you back. Remember when he in Confessions when he calls the woman he cheated on his girlfriend with, bro? He's like, bro, you ain't serious right now. Like he says that in Confessions Part 1. If you ever listen to the album. Yeah, it is. Do you remember? You're a little far away. Well, just don't forget that Eddie Murphy banged a transgender prostitute. And 10 other fun facts on the evening news. Soldier Boy did too. What is proud of it though? Tanner just chiming in with random shit all the time. I feel like I sink into this couch. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. The intro, Cole. Sorry. Oh, there's a lot of static here.
Some really little part of one of this, like fun little redneck area to hang out with.
Missouri.
Missouri? Now, is Tech 9 from the Kansas part or the Missouri part of Kansas City?
KC, oh.
Alright, I'm happy with
I get it wetter and better in that box.
Baby in your box.
Tech 9?
that. Yes, it's quite possible. Wait. What day, Chase? What day?
I just made that up, Eric.
Oh, okay.
Accusing you of sleeping with Usher.
Well, I would have been 8 years old, but you know.
I mean,
If it was R. Kelly,
was big at the time, so it's not rule anything out.
if this was R. Kelly, then it's possible, but.
Oh my god.
You know, I'll take Usher over P. Diddy any day of the week.
I'm not sure how you're relating those two, but yeah.
P. Diddy also did a bunch of crazy shit, all right?
I thought you were like comparing them music-wise. I was like, you got two different styles of music.
No,
dude.
as a person.
R&B and hip-hop are totally different.
What are you guys even talking about right now?
We're just going off on We're trailing.
We're trailing, as usual.
You said this was accounted for bullshit. It's bullshit.
Are we live?
We are. We've been
Is
live.
Lane done with his very important barber call?
He's been off for like 3 minutes.
I need to tinker a little
You
bit.
gonna take someone to the barber shop or what?
I might. I was supposed to get my hair cut.
You gonna drop that lollipop or what?
Signal and I went to Southern Hills, so I missed my appointment. Not happy about it. But, as you know, Southern Hills.
I know your pain. I missed 2 haircut appointments this past week.
2?
Yeah, I had one scheduled for Wednesday. I got busy, fuck customers, and then Friday I was balls
fucking
deep in a car
customers.
deal.
Trying to fucking buy cars. Yeah, I wish I had your fucking problems.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my goddamn haircut.
See, that's the problem with you fucking 19, 20-year-olds. Like, you just don't want to fucking do anything.
Fucking scum.
No, Jesus.
I'm just gonna hold up this mic, like I have to hold something down in the morning. Whatever, just let it lean. We're just there.
Let it lean.
Big lean.
How's it hanging?
Low and a little bit to the left.
Nice.
Not a straight
As it
shooter.
should.
The way God intended.
Wait, your guys don't hang to the left?
Am I the only one?
Am I the only one?
Told me.
No one's. It's supposed to curve?
It's like that one kid who, doesn't get the snippy. All of a sudden he's in 6th grade gym class. He's like, wait, what do you mean yours doesn't have a hood?
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome in,
Stop
Yaman.
football.
It's no, we're trying to keep our spirits up here today, all right?
No,
It's
good
depressing.
vibes, sorry.
It's depressing talk.
I'm sorry.
Bring
Good
that up.
vibes only.
Yeah, good vibes only.
You see, you finally hired someone to help out with decisions and shit.
I would hope so.
Yeah, no, I would too.
Yeah.
I tried saying at the beginning, in the offseason too, I told you guys, a whole new coach, a whole new quarterback, a whole new system.
Yeah, and another thing, and I pointed this out to Cole, and I don't even think Cole knew it at the time because every single coach in the Denver coaching staff has never coached in their respective position before. From the top to the bottom, they're all brand new coaches. And this might be the first time that's ever happened.
Except for like the very first
So that even
coaching
makes it
team ever.
1,000 times more difficult, too. That's tough.
So I'm trying to give them a little bit of
Well, it's tough
leeway.
'cause you've got to give some leeway on
Yeah,
that, too.
yeah, you
can
gotta
have all the
learn.
talent in the world, but if you don't know how to coach it and do the right scheme, play calling and all that, it's all
Yep.
irrelevant, which sucks because, as you guys know, a lot of potential.
And Hackett's a good leader. The players really like him, but
It's tough because
you
I
got to
think
have
he
a
can be
good
a
mix.
great OC, like Eric Bieniemy. There's got to be some sort of reason he hasn't gotten hired yet. Was it three years in a row now?
Say it.
He's probably been.
Say it.
I've also heard though. I think it was Shady McCoy on I Am Athlete with Chad Johnson and who's the other? Brandon Marshall, and Channing Crowder. Shady said that it's just kind of like he's a great coach, but also there's times where you just kind of feel like it's almost disrespectful in a sense. Like there's a difference between like coaching and getting on your ass and then just being disrespectful. So I think that's been.
For sure. I think the reason he hasn't gotten hired is I think there's two reasons. One, he's got a little bit of a past. I think there was some stuff in college that was kind of a bad mark on his report. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I think another problem is I think that ever since Adam Gase, people are a little bit more turned away to hire offensive coordinators that are coordinators of Hall of Fame quarterbacks because it's like, is he actually responsible for this offense? Not because in Bieniemy's situation, not only is he not the one calling the plays, but Andy Reid is technically the offensive coordinator, and you have Patrick Mahomes. So what's Bieniemy doing, and what qualifies him to be a
And
head
that's
coach?
the tough part too because
Yeah.
Andy Reid is such a.
Well, the hard part, I think, honestly, going in here is at what point do you diversify? Because I think also one hire that is really working out right now is Mike McDaniel down in Miami, and he was someone who was a running game coordinator. Like you kind of know what's going on in San Francisco. Maybe Erica doesn't, but you kind of know what's going on in San Francisco as far as Kyle Shanahan kind of controls the offensive show there, and then the defense obviously is up to the defense coordinators and everything for game planning there. But Kyle Shanahan is the offensive guru there, so you're kind of questioning Mike McDaniel a bit. But looking into it, obviously there's more of a melting pot there than you think. And so, kind of the same thing in Green Bay. And I do believe in Nathaniel Hackett. I'm a huge believer in 2 weeks. You just get to see what your worst weaknesses are, and then you see how you react from there. I think he's a coach that can grow, and he has a lot of growing to do, but still the same questions are kind of coming out right now. Is it LaFleur, or was it Hackett, or was it Rodgers? Kind of what in the mix, what percentage does everybody have of that pie?
I think, one of my favorite things about Hackett, too, is he's doing the opposite of Vic Fangio. The last 2.5 years, Vic Fangio, he never accepted responsibility. He always just blamed the players, blamed his coordinators, blamed this and that. Everything was somebody else's fault, whereas Hackett so far has come out and completely just he's put everything on his shoulders, and he's admitted that he has a lot of work to do, and he's been taking steps to try to improve that. So I think that one of the big green flags here is that he's actually trying to make an effort to better himself instead of making excuses and pushing blame.
I apologize. I'll let you go first.
Busboy.
I was just gonna say, as a German, I'm slow to trust Matt LaFleur. All right, he's French. Okay,
You're going down the floor.
but I think he has proven as a head coach that he's got what it takes playing the big leagues.
I don't think that was ever up for debate, but I appreciate your input. Erica, I would love to know your opinion on the current running back situation in San Francisco.
Oh God, I don't know. There's a lot of them. San Francisco just scares the shit out of me, mostly because all the shit that's on the street and the needles too. I mean, I'm ignorant here. I'll be honest. I'm ignorant, but like, I don't know. I just do not have a lot of hope for San Francisco. Period.
I think that's a lot of
trying to
people
throw.
right now.
Oh, boys.
That's what I was gonna say. I respect Hackett for making the hire because he's well aware that he's just not. As of right now, it's growth, dude. It's tough. Last year, I think Sirianni was the only rookie head coach to make the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can tell, I mean, in the first round, we all know the Buccaneers were gonna fucking smack them. But the first 2 weeks this year, they're averaging 30-some points a game. Like, their defense wasn't that great week 1, but week 2 to go up against the Vikings, who were looking phenomenal, and completely just shut their shit down.
Spoiler alert: Eagles are way up my board, and you'll find that out later on my week 3 playoff predictions.
I think they might be this year's Bengals in a sense. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, all right, they're good. But they
Oh, I think Jalen Hurts is starting to take that leap too.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
He's like, fuck you guys. This is my team. I'm taking the fuck over. Let's do this.
I feel like he took that Josh Allen step.
Yep, exactly. And that's, I love the A.J. Brown because Hurts was such a big advocate in that. And the team were like, all right, like we're going to build around you. We're going to give you your guy. He's a top 10 wideout in the league right now. 25, isn't he 25?
Mm-hmm.
That's what, yeah. So the Eagles are
Making all the right
fucking
moves.
good, too.
Is it Rosenthal? Rosenthal? Is that their or Howie Roseman?
Howie Roseman, yep. Well, boys, I think Lane and I are going to jump off camera here because I think you guys have a little bit of drag racing to do here. So, start those engines.
We need some drops. We gotta get some drop software going.
Yes. So drag races, are we talking specifically just races, or is this like potentially fantasy fights?
Well,
I know
it is a race of the foot.
Physical. So, we'll let our esteemed host Cole Blenner, the fishing elephant himself, explain to all the good people out there the premise of this segment and what we're going to be doing here.
So, the premise of the drag race is because Erica is here in drag.
Oh yeah.
So, we take one word that means two completely things in two completely different situations, and we're going to talk about drag races. So, we're going to talk about foot race. We're going to talk about just getting to the finish line. We're going to talk about, in some cases, just surviving. So, first up, ladies and gentlemen, for the esteemed viewers in the audience here tonight, we're going to bring up our pre-made notes list. This episode is going to be sponsored by Nobody. Nobody is who cares about your fantasy football team being 0-2. Nobody is a fantastic company that's existed since the beginning of time, and they are also the person that does not care that the work league that you are in is being run right now by a bunch of morons. Yes, it's like the NCAA tournament, folks. Sometimes fantasy football just comes down to fucking luck. Sometimes you just need to go by the names. Who knew that your HR rep, who's the only female in your league, would have drafted Jalen Waddle in the second round, but it was a great pick because she likes the word waddle. Nobody, once again, sponsoring your feelings regarding any of this.
Quick statement: Penguins waddle, and I love penguins.
Yep.
But we don't talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins here.
What?
Fuck them.
That's real?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a hockey team.
Oh, I like hockey.
Just not Pittsburgh hockey.
Bless you for being
All right, ladies and gentlemen. First up in the drag race, car number 1, Tyreek Hill, wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, versus a literal cheetah, folks. A literal cheetah. We're not talking fantasy cheetahs here. This is the real fucking deal.
Erica, do you know who Tyreek Hill is?
No, I do not.
One of the fastest players in the NFL.
Okay.
Ran a 4.2540, I believe.
540.
Is
that
insanely fast.
540 meters or feet?
Yep. 40
Meters. Meters.
Yep.
Me test.
Love having 40 yards. Doesn't know anything about 40 yards.
40 yards.
There's meters in a yard.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, very fast NFL wide receiver versus a literal cheetah.
Okay.
I think he's been clocked at 21.3 miles an hour
Okay. My question is,
versus a cheetah that can max out at 65. Erica, the floor is yours.
my first question is, how long is this race?
That is true. That does make a difference.
It makes a
That's
huge
sprint or
difference.
marathon.
Let's just go 100 yards.
100
One
yards?
Football field to the other.
Cheetah.
Why?
Cheetahs are ridiculously fast.
Oh, we're going
Ridiculously.
Full literal.
Full,
Yes.
full
Full
literal,
literal.
ridiculously
Full
fast.
literal.
Go by the numbers,
But
it's fucking over, all right? It's
it
over.
is. Who's the other guy?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. I got a feeling Tyreek Hill has better endurance than a cheetah. Cheetah burn themselves out quickly.
That's why is it a sprint or marathon? That's
It-
what matters. Is it a sprint or a marathon?
Yes, right lane. Great point.
Have that quick burst, but can you sustain that throughout the entire?
So pending situation, how long is the race? It's 100 yards, one football field, cheetah. But it's also, how many games has the cheetah played? How many rounds has the cheetah played? Tyreek Hill has to go the whole damn game. Cheetah kills that animal quickly, done. Then has to hopefully hope that someone else doesn't come along and steal its gains.
Steal its game.
Yeah, it
See-
happens all the time.
See, the thing I like about Tyreek, though, is he's going to beat that cheetah off the line 100% of the time. All right? He is a trained athlete.
Plus, the cheetah can get distracted chasing after Tyreek. One cut, cheetah fucks up. He gets 100 yards. He wins. Cheetah's back in the cage.
I'm gonna pipe in here because I think that context matters. How old is this cheetah?
Oh.
Also true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
2.5 years old.
Well, see, that's dangerous because if it's an adult cheetah, the cheetah's gonna win. If it's like, I don't know, let's say 3 years old, Tyreek will literally beat it.
They're full grown at 2 years old.
Oh,
Fuck.
He didn't. But he
touche.
did.
So wing and a miss right over my head there, Cotton.
We're going to assume
So that's
adult
the
cheetah.
answer.
Allegedly.
So that's
that was,
the
that was,
answer.
that was proven wrong. That was
You
proven
heard it
wrong.
here first, folks. That's the goddamn answer.
Now, I'm also going to pipe in and say I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. Because the cheetah is used to being chased off by larger predators, and I assume Tyreek makes that cheetah look like a punk.
Well, here's the thing. Do you know how big a cheetah is? How much a cheetah weighs?
They're not that big. They're pretty lean. I
Seven-
saw one at the Henry
75
Doily
to
Zoo about
110 pounds.
about a month ago.
They're not very
Tyreek's
big.
easily
No.
215.
Oh
Tyreek
God,
rocked
Tyreek. That thing is running off. That cheetah is going to be like, no.
And they're very skittish creatures.
Yes. People don't think that. They are beautiful creatures, but they're very skittish.
I have to give this to Tyreek.
Yeah. Cheetah's 3, Tyreek wins. The cheetah's full
Yeah.
ground, cheetah
Cheetah.
wins.
Hand it to Tyreek, man. You have to go there.
Cheetah. Yeah, I'm taking cheetah.
All right, that's 2.5. Tyreek wins.
Yes.
All right. Race number 2. We're going to move on to another NFL player. This time, Devin Duvernay of the Baltimore Ravens. Duvernay on the Baltimore Ravens versus a Raven. Now, Devin has been clocked at 21.6 miles an hour. I Googled this earlier. It's facts.
Thank God for you, Tanner. Thank you.
How fast?
21.6 miles an hour.
Yeah.
This is Tanner's submission.
Oh, okay.
This is my submission because it's funny.
Okay.
And an untrained Raven, I also Googled this, an untrained Raven Naturally, they clock out at about 25 miles an hour. But professional bird handlers have trained them, and they can do well over 60.
Oh damn.
Yeah. We'll just keep the trend going, Erica. Why don't you fill us in on your opinion?
Oh man.
And this is an untrained raven we're talking about, folks. It's a beast caught in the wild.
Wild card.
Literally wild.
Literally.
All right.
It's a whole different dynamics when you think about it.
We're going to make this one a little closer in speed. That's why.
Yes.
The penguin. Penguins can slide like it's nobody's business. If they're on ice, Waddle is fucked. The Penguins got him. But no.
So we got Tyrese here versus
No,
a Raven.
Devin.
Devon.
Tyrese.
Sorry. I don't.
I love it. I love it.
Tyrese versus Tyreek. but
I
Tyrese
seriously-
is in a Fast and the Furious vehicle.
I love just the randomness of having just one person that doesn't know anything about football. Just,
Okay, no,
it's-
here we go.
Yeah.
All right, Tyrese versus Henry Ruggs. In an actual drag race.
Not driving.
Actual drag race. No, driving. They have to be driving. But there's no pedestrians on the street, so.
Oh.
Is Ruggs' girlfriend in the car?
Jeez.
You think that makes him go faster or slower?
Quite a bit faster against his own will, it sounds like.
Well, faster because she's giving him.
I don't think that was the case.
I want to believe.
She was giving him a head start at prison.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. There's no chill on this show.
There is, yeah. We're gonna show that here in a bit.
But I want to give it to the Raven. All right? Ravens are intelligent creatures. You put a quarter at the end of that 100 yards, that Raven's going to beat Devin 100% of the time.
Why a quarter?
They like shiny objects.
Exactly.
Okay, fair.
You can become friends with ravens as long as you don't bring your dog and you give them gifts that are shiny. It's true. It'll take a while, but they'll be like, all right, he's cool.
Men have trained ravens and crows to pick up cigarette butts and give them treats as rewards. And they befriend those creatures for a lifetime.
They will bring you gifts too, like quarters that they find at the end of that race.
They'll steal money from people. See, this Raven is very intelligent.
To Bangkok and I get mugged by a raven.
Yeah.
All right. We need context again.
Yes, please
Yep.
fill me in.
See, in my opinion, it depends. How many eyes does the Raven have?
Oh, Jesus.
Never more.
Because
How about that?
If it has three.
Yeah, if it has 3 eyes and it's crippled, it will clearly have a better story. And in that case, the Raven will win. We have to subvert the expectations of this race.
And who has a better story than that 3-eyed motherfucker?
Forrest Gump.
Well, if it's a 3-eyed raven, it has to get like carried by a large, oversized man with a one-word vocabulary. So who had a stroke at 11 years old, thanks to the person he's carrying.
Yeah. Twisted.
Game of Thrones. That's.
Yeah.
We should do that. Game of Thrones unexplained.
Yep.
Like you've never seen Game of Thrones before. you just
Unsolved
explain the first
mysteries.
episode.
Game of Thrones.
The king comes to town, but his wife likes to fuck her brother, and they push a boy out the window, and he's paralyzed. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Also, there's a really funny door.
Yes. I did start that last week again. It was wonderful, but
Well, we got time for one more drag race here. We got 4 minutes until we do the Donnie and Bill Best French.
All right. I kind of want to do Joe Biden versus any NFL owner. Because he's got the edge on several of them. Some of them are old, ugly, dumb, fat.
Joe Biden versus Mark Davis because that haircut is aerodynamic.
I mean,
They literally named college championship games after his hair. Literally.
the question is,
he's got age on Joe, but he's also got some weight on Joe.
Yeah, that was my point. I picked the fat over.
Yeah.
Ours.
I'm going to go with the anyone but Joe because he needs the guidance to get to that point. He might forget where he's going.
That's where I'm at too. Is it straight
I hate to
line or
say
do you have
this.
to actually make turns?
Well, there
If you have
could
to
be
make turns, he's in
there
trouble.
could be tarmac lights on the field directing him where to go.
I think clearly if he's in a Ford Lightning F-150, he's going to fucking take off.
Is he on a bicycle?
Well, he'll only fall off when he stops. So once he gets going, he's good.
He's like a 5-year-old you're training to ride without training wheels. Once it gets going, it's fine. It's the momentum that's going to keep him going.
I just think Joe's gonna get distracted, and that's fair. I mean, each one of those lights could be fun to look at. You just zone in, stare at it. It's kind of like the mosquito thing, the insects, mosquito. They'll go to the little light and just
It's
hover
like
around
those
it.
little light things that I had when I was a child. You put the clear thing in the board and it makes a glowing picture. Picture. Yeah.
Picture. And
Reminds me of the picture movies that me and my mom used to go to. And he
Picture.
just trails off on another one.
by the way, I invented those movies and that glow board, and while I was trucking, and
I'm going with literally any NFL owner just because
Yeah.
Biden will forget how to get to the finish line unless Kamala or Hillary put out a hit on the opponent. That's the only other way.
Why Hillary? You don't know his wife's name?
Jillian.
I think it is Jill. I honestly
It is
forgot. I
Jill.
just wanted to call you out.
It's Jill.
Kamala puts hits on people now. I didn't know this shit.
Well, no, I mean, she's the vice president.
We just
know.
assume.
Yeah.
Everyone has to follow in Cheney's footsteps after all.
Yeah, Cheney set a precedent.
Put hits out. He executed it. So
Cheney scares me,
But-
man.
I'm going to get
Vice president of integrity.
31 NFL owners are going to beat Joe Biden, and Jerry Jones is not one of them.
Ooh, that is the matchup. Jerry versus Joe.
Jerry is almost geriatric.
I
Jerry,
think that's the most fair.
Jerry's in shape though. Like his mobility is fine. He's not having any issues. He's okay. 78.
We want to talk about a ripped ass old man, Vince McMahon. Even though there's a lot of shit coming out about him now, that's not at all surprising if you're a wrestling fan. I'm like,
No one can-
since it is lifted, it's all
This
the
is,
evil
yeah, you
inside.
see clips from like the old WWE, like early 2000s and shit. Like some of the shit they put on national TV. I'm like,
I watched that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Forever Rey Mysterio. Oh my god.
Please explain.
Rey Mysterio. Or he
What's that?
said
There's
the-
not really
I'm gonna cut
time.
through real fast. I have to get a blazer on.
Say
He said a soft N word to Booker T. Wasn't it Booker T?
Oh my god.
Yeah, what's up, man?
if you're gonna, I was gonna say, it sound on air. It sounds like we're all talking to somebody nobody else can hear. So you should swivel that mic
We're
over.
gonna leave it that way.
We're gonna leave it that way.
Eric,
Oh,
you move to the couch.
so
Boys doing your
yep, we got coming up next. We got two very special guests. They're gonna be giving you a power hour, and by power hour, I mean 15 minutes. And now Lane's trying to work the computer. We're in trouble.
And we got it.
Oh, we got it. Good
We got it, boys.
Oh my god, it even made me put a shoe on too.
What's up, bitches?
Where's your wig, Donnie?
It's your favorite dude back. I decided to go with a more buzz cut. You know, there's a certain bureau that's good at investigating that might be looking for me sometime soon. So we figured we'd change the look up a little bit. Switch it up. You know, I've kind of rocked the same thing for a while since the 80s. I brought it through 3 bankruptcies. So, you know, figured it was maybe just time to switch the old do up a little bit. Bill, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good there.
I haven't seen you since we vacationed on this island a while back.
Dude, Jeff throws the greatest fucking parties.
Yeah, I wonder whatever happened to that guy. I texted him once, but he just left me hanging, so. Anyways.
It's so fucking tragic. So tragic.
Anyways, we're talking scandals and controversies this week. I figured there's no two better people to be talking about the shameful and the juicy of the NFL.
Hey, I did not report on those scandals, okay?
You may not have reported, but they broke anyways. Just like all the NDAs that I have, they somehow just broke and came out, and now they're just everywhere. I know you're having to put a tarp down to clean it up. It's from the Russians. They have a video. They're going to hold it against you. Just don't do it, okay? Just don't. But anyways, the first things first, let's talk about Brett Favre. who's a fantastic supporter of mine. He's a great guy, awesome fellow, but he's in a little bit of trouble.
He's not the first person to fuck over welfare queens. Shit, I support him. I'm wearing my Wranglers right now.
Make sure you have that copper tone knee pads for the little bumps and bruises. You know, the gentlemen aren't as quite as youthful as they used to be. And the same with Favre. I don't think he's escaping this one like he used to escape the pocket. I think the defense team has Greg Williams on that ass, and there's a bounty out for him in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, he just can't run like he used to. I think he ran out of Vicodin. Hey, Brett, if you need some, I know a guy.
Yeah, there's a great doctor out there, but no one's going to doctor the fact that he literally took the poorest people. Here's an idea with Scandal Bread, okay? If you're going to take from the poor, don't do it in the poorest state. That's what we call a double whammy. Double jeopardy makes you an ultimate loser. Leave Atlantic City. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, okay? Because Brett, you, can I call you by your full name, sir? Well, I appreciate the support and the campaign donations and the Wrangler commercials and the fact that you almost beat New Orleans and then they recovered from a hurricane, but that's neither here nor there. Trump did great on that. Anyways, Brett, I'm going to need you to go ahead and stiff arm away from me now, okay? Donnie's got 2024 plans, and it doesn't include a prison sentence like you, all right?
Shit, we've never even met the guy.
I don't know what you're talking about. No pictures, no evidence. Fake news. Fake news. But, Bill, I believe we have one other go-to to be talking about.
Oh, yes. We got to talk about somebody we haven't really partied with, but, man, is he a party animal, Mr. Deshaun Watson.
Listen. All I'm saying is the 11 games thing, it just sends the wrong message, okay? It's like saying you're guilty or you're not. That's called settling a case, and that's what we do, okay, Deshaun? It doesn't work when you're actually in the NFL, but as an owner like Robert Kraft, it does. And just remember, rub and tugs are okay as long as they're consensual. When she stops smiling, you put your pants back on, you take the $100 out of your John, and you move on to the next massage therapist. There's got to be other ones on Tinder, okay?
You know, you just got to make it easy, man. You can't just, like, walk in there like you own the place. You got to, you know, put some blowout for them, you know? Get them all nice and loose, you know? Then you can start having the real fun.
It's called game, Deshaun, and apparently you only have it between the 20 and the 20 because in the red zone, no success. Now, before we get canceled, we're going to bring on Mr. Lane Brings Plenty to talk about how you can win some money because we're definitely not the guys to be giving you advice on how to win money. Not one.
Have
I'm
you
not
seen my
talking 2.
401k?
I'm talking 3 bankruptcies, baby. I'm the Michael Jordan of bankruptcies. Just when you think I'm gone, boom, I come back again.
Government ain't touching my phone.
Peace, bitches. I believe in none of the opinions I stated.
Agreed.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done. All right, Mr. Brings Plenty.
Did you go bring
Let's lay them bets down.
Oh no.
Thanks for tuning in, viewer.
Z1.
We
And
appreciate
Z
your support.
God.
Right there, sorry.
It's so hot back there.
Yep.
God. Uh-oh. It's getting wild.
And I am back, and hopefully better than ever.
Our solo mic, by the way.
Solo mic. Are we good? Are we there? Is that the one?
You're the one.
No, I love you. I love you, God damn it, Tanner. So, I just locked these in earlier, and I feel like that's actually better to do now instead of the morning report of injuries, game decisions, so on and so forth. So, well, let's... Oh, never mind. Fuck, here it is. So, for our first parlay, we're going to do a mix of over-under, money lines, and spreads. We're doing 6 games. I feel very confident in these, and I'll kind of explain why on each one, so on and so forth. So, first one, we got the Bengals and Jets over 45. So, I don't know about you guys. Bengals need to get their shit together. 0-2. Everyone's expecting, them to pretty much compete for the number 1 seed coming off the Super Bowl. Super Bowl high is hard to get over. They're ready to go. I think they know, like, this is week 3. If they don't turn it over now, I think they realize that they won't get the number 1 spot. That's going to be extremely difficult for them to do. So I think since he comes ready to play, the Jets just had that huge comeback with Joe Flacco end of last week against the Browns. Solid team, solid defense. So I think they're riding a good high right now. They're feeling confident. They're feeling like they can do this. They know this is a big game for them as well. So I think both offenses are going to come out firing. I think defense is going to kind of slack this game. I like the Ravens money line. Fuck, remind me again on who they're playing.
Patriots.
Patriots. That's why. Patriots are kind of a. I feel like they don't really have an identity this year quite yet. They don't really have a solid tight end they can rely on, or at least that they've used. I really like Hunter Henry. I don't know about you guys. Even when he was in San Diego and LA, I thought he had the potential to be a top 10 tight end. I just don't think they've utilized him the right way. But Ravens coming off that harsh loss last week, they're 1-1, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So this is an opportunity for them to move forward in the division rankings. So I like them this week, money line over the Patriots. Dolphins plus 4.5. The big one for this is Micah Hyde's out for the entire year.
Yeah, he's on IR now.
Yep, exactly. He's out for the entire year. I feel like there was one more Bills player that I'm fucking missing.
Jordan Phillips is also out, and then Greg Rousseau is out this week too.
Okay, yep.
Greg Rousseau's out?
Yeah.
I believe so.
So, and that's a part of their pressure too. So I think their line still is going to apply that pressure. But Mike McDaniels, you guys talked about him a little bit earlier. I think he's like, in a sense, that next type of Andy Reid with the offensive-minded head coach. Like, he's just going to scheme the right way. He's going to know how to utilize his guys. He has Tyreek and Jalen Waddle.
What's the over-under on that one? 54?
I can't remember. It's probably in the 50s. I just did plus 4.5 on the Dolphins. I really like the Dolphins this week.
Interesting note on Mike McDaniel. Andre Hawkins was on the
That
podcast
8-minute,
this
I
week.
listened to that little
Talk
clip
about that.
Siglin sent. Yes.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
run
that
that
was when he was in Cleveland. Andrew, is that his first name? Hawkins?
Andre Hawkins.
Andre Hawkins. Phenomenal route runner. All honesty, probably one of the best route runners that never really got to fully show his potential. He's with Cleveland when they were still going through their shit. He was there. Was the off season when they drafted Johnny Manziel, because remember he said that in the clip. Mike McDaniels was the wide receiver coach at the time.
Yep.
Wide receiver coach, and his coaching scheme, he talks a lot more of it. It's on I Am Athlete, I think, right? That was the clip it was from. It's an 8-minute clip, but I highly recommend listening to it. But he just talks about how Mike McDaniels is just this genius, basically. He's a really cool guy, though, too, as is. I think if you were a player, he's one of those coaches, like, a genius, but also just a cool-ass dude, too. So he's one of those guys you just want to play for. As is.
Man.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Dan Campbell's probably my behind Andy. Hard Knocks, is that where you?
Yep.
He said "man" so fucking much, it was unreal.
Gotta get real,
Man, you could probably make a fucking drinking game out of those.
No, he's serious.
No, literally, there was.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was probably one of the last episodes. There was like fucking 20 times in a row. I swear to God, every sentence or everything he said. And
first episode too, he said "man" no less than 15 times.
no,
He's literally just steroid Jeff Bridges.
no, he is. And I love it though, because
literally.
you look at him, you're like, he could fucking play.
No, my mic's on. Cole turned it on.
He could be the Mike. He could be the Mike linebacker. Like, he can still run that shit. Like, he just looks like a dog.
Well, and he did those up downs with him, dude. I was just like,
Yeah, players appreciate shit like that, though. Robert Saleh, is that you pronounce his last name?
Yep.
New York, the Jets, like, they have so much potential, though, because he's at the head of everything. Like, he's running the show there. And same sort of deal, though. Like, he's involved with his players. Like, he's going to do that shit with them. Anyway, so Dolphins plus 4.5. Big on that one. Lions plus 6 over Minnesota. Lions have been, I know you're going to think it's just a regular 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock game for Kirk Cousins. He's probably going to dominate. The Lions have been extremely fucking gritty, and I'm not trying to be too biased because of the whole Hard Knocks deal, but they have been extremely gritty. Week 1 against Philly. Philly's been extremely impressive. The 21-point comeback. They lost by, 3? They lost by a field goal.
They covered the spread.
Exactly. They did their job. They didn't give up. They they
And
continue
they covered
forward.
last week in the win too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. So, coming off a win, especially a little bit confidence booster there. They're starting to believe a little bit more. Minnesota's coming off a rough week. I really like their offense. Philly just completely shut them down. So respect to Philly for that. Jefferson could have a game. He might not because I don't think there's really anyone in Detroit's secondary that
They have no answer for him.
exactly. So that's kind of the issue there. But I really like Lions +6 division game. Going to be gritty. I think it'll be a fun one to watch. Another one I'm really high on, believe it or not, Chiefs money line. You got Andy Reid, who had an extra 3 days to game plan for this game specifically. We're playing Indy, who's looking extremely fucking rough right now. This is another opportunity for us to be like, fuck you guys, we're running this show. So
Shaq Leonard's out too.
Yep, exactly. That's another big piece of that too.
They can't hear me, so you can.
I don't necessarily like the spread at 5.5. For some reason, we just can't fucking cover. But yeah, Shaq Leonard being out is a huge piece of me liking this bet as well. Texans +3 as well. They're playing the Bears. I think they got some issue going on inside the locker room. They need to figure out their identity, their coaching, so on and so forth. They don't have it together right now. Texans have been gritty, as you saw last week. Like, they're just not a team you can stomp over anymore. Like, they're going to fucking play. Mills has a lot of potential. I've been high on Mills since last year. I think Mills truly could be a Derek Carr-esque, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He can win games.
Yep.
You can build around him. He could be a franchise quarterback.
An above average, not quite game manager,
Not
middle of the pack, but slightly above
exactly. Exactly. Top 10.
He can
top
still make
15
big
range,
plays.
Top 8, top 15,
Yep.
somewhere in that ballpark. So that's my first parlay, 6-legger. Odds were 30 plus 31.29. So you bet 10, win 300, so on and so forth. Next one is a teaser. It's a 3-leg teaser. I like the Jags +9.5 this week. Teasing the +9.5. Jags completely shut down Indy last week. God forbid it was a division game. They kind of have their number, so on and so forth. But same thing in Jacksonville. You have Trevor Lawrence, who has a year under his belt, who started with Urban Meyer, which was just a complete and utter shit show. After he left, you saw the team just kind of shifted their focus and their belief as is. I think Jacksonville is kind of out to make a statement this year in a sense, which I feel like is kind of early to say, but Christian Kirk last week looked phenomenal against Indy's defense, who was supposed to be a top 5 this year.
Christian Kirk, and he really excels in the slot, and that's where he's been utilized in Jacksonville. But
They're showcasing that, which is good for them.
I have updated my projections, and I have Jacksonville winning the AFC South this year.
They
I think
really
they are.
could. Tennessee looks like shit. Indy looks like shit, and those were the two teams that really were supposed to in a sense take over. I don't think it's going to be Houston. I think Jacksonville.
Yep.
They have the best quarterback, or could be here in a couple of years the best quarterback in that division too. So.
I actually picked the opposite on that one. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I got LA. I think Vegas knocking it from -7 to -3.5, and now -3 as of tonight.
Herbo's probably playing with that being said.
Yeah, I think Herbo plays in that game. I don't know if that's what shocked it down. I know J.C. Jackson going out makes it a closer game. But at the end of the day, I think 3 points for the Chargers. I don't see them winning by a lot. I see this could be very much a game.
That's
like,
why I
they
teased
played
it, 'cause
against us.
I think Chargers will still win. Same thing as KC, coming off what was a short week to a little bit. You have a couple extra days, rest your guys, game plan a little bit more, and they know that Jacksonville's not a joke. They know what they got going. They need to win this game too. They know that.
Exactly. So honestly, in my opinion, I think final score in that one 27-21 LA, and I think both bars cover in that situation
Yep.
because you teased it up to 9.5. I'm grabbing the Chargers at -3. I think they win by at least more than a field goal. The score works out some way. They get at least a 4 to 7 point win in some way. And then I'd actually probably jump on the backs of the biggest gamble this week is got to be the Jets money line with +6. It's probably a sleeper bet, but if you really want to gamble and make yourself some money, going on the Jets money line to pull off the upset for the second week in a row. Is it likely to happen? I don't think so, but it could be a little juicier to a safe parlay that if it hits, you can win some money.
They're actually scary with those weapons and an experienced Joe Flacco, who's just like, I just need to win the game. That's all I need to do. I don't need the big plays. I have Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson, who really popped off against. Same thing. It was solid Browns defense. Michael Carter and Breece Hall, like those guys can.
Well, and there's something to be said about a backup who knows he's, and I guess maybe this changes once Zach Wilson gets healthy, but I don't think Joe Flacco really believes he's playing for the starting job at this point, just given where they drafted Wilson. They're almost obligated to probably give him another year. Now, if they switch out for Joe Flacco, that's going to be extremely indicating of the lack of talent for Zach Wilson. So, we'll see.
When do you think Zach actually takes over?
When
Well, he's already.
healthy.
He's. I
Well,
mean,
When he's actually healthy. We're not talking like
we put a date
NFL.
time frame on this. Like
in a
week
sense,
week
in a
6.
couple years, when's he going to be an established quarterback?
Oh, like when's he
will-
going to take that
will
leap?
he ever actually reach that?
I'm going to be honest. I don't think he's going to.
I don't think so either. I've kind of thought about it. I just don't think he has that leadership mentality of I'm fucking.
We are not respecting the MILF Hunter.
That's all he's got though. That's the cool thing. You know, Drew Lock did the lip singing to "I put on for my city." I
Yeah,
put on,
Young
and everyone
Jeezy,
was
and
eating up
everybody
Drew
hyped
Lock
him
there
up.
for a bit because he did that. You know that one little clip. Cool. Zach Wilson fucked a mom. You know what I mean? What's he gonna do in the league? What's he gonna do in the field?
That's more impressive.
Is he? We're gonna let's all be honest with each other
More
here.
impressive.
How many you got? I got one.
Alrighty, boys.
Your mom's best friends if you banged.
I
Okay.
hate to cut off the MILF train here, but we are cutting into Fantasy Wizard time, and my boy Jace
So you
has
can-
been getting prepped. So Lane, let's have
Your
you and
work-
Jace switch it up here.
I was gonna say. I think the
Seating
only other
spots.
thing I had in there was the Bucks plus
we can
5.
stay where we're at.
Bucks plus
Can
5.
everybody hear me on the? Or do you want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah, switch
All right.
it. You dirty little trash. Switch your son out.
I liked my chair. I liked my chair. Right.
I don't give a shit.
You can sit in my lap. Call me Jeffy.
My name is Jeffy. Jesus Christ. All right, it is fantasy time, and we're going into week 3. It's been a wild start to the NFL season so far, and I'm going to be going over my starts of the week this week, and I'm going to be starting at quarterback. Kind of when I glanced over at Lane, no surprise here, but Kirk Cousins is my quarterback start of the week. He had a disappointing week last week, but Kirk is always known to struggle in prime time. This time, he doesn't have a prime time matchup. He's going to be bouncing back, and he's going up against a Lions team that is 27th against opposing quarterbacks. Now, since Kirk Cousins joined the Lions, he has averaged 280 yards and 2 touchdowns per game in the years that he's been on the Vikings. With the 53-point over-under, this should be a high-scoring affair that should also result in a fantasy payoff from Kirk Cousins. And if you are able to stack him with Jefferson or Thielen's a sleeper this week too. Yep, I think he's a sleeper this week. Yep, absolutely. So lock in Kirk Cousins. At running back, it's not very often that I have a absolute smash play like I would be confident putting money down that he's going to be a top 3 running back this week. That is Leonard Fournette. And let me tell you why. Mike Evans, suspended. Chris Godwin is out. Julio Jones and Russell Gage, questionable. The Bucks just signed Cole Beasley. That leaves Brady with one reliable playmaker on offense. Let's dive a little deeper into this. Leonard Fournette leads the league right now in route run percentage at 75%. For those of you who don't really know what that means that on 75% of Brady's dropbacks, Fournette is running routes, not blocking. He is there to catch the ball. That's what he excelled at last year as well. That's where all of his fantasy value came from. And then you add on top of that they are playing the Packers, who are dead last against running backs. They have allowed 153 yards in each of their last 2 games to opposing running backs. So you go Fournette being the only weapon. You have his 75% route run rate, and you have the fact that he's playing the Packers. Lock that shit in. He is going to be a smash play tomorrow. Leonard Fournette, start of the week. My wide receiver start of the week is Chris Olave of the New Orleans Saints. Stud wide receiver. He's making his NFL debut over the last couple weeks. Crazy stat about Chris Olave. He is leading the league in unrealized air yards right now at 320. Now, some people watching might not know what unrealized air yards means. So that means that outside of what his recorded metrics are, so on top of his actual receptions and yardage he's been gaining, he has been thrown 160 yards per game that haven't quite connected, whether it was a overthrown pass, an underthrown pass, he dropped the ball. There is 160 missed yards each of his first 2 games, which tells me a couple things. One, obviously the opportunity is there. And 2, they trust him. They spent a lot of draft capital to get him. And when you are throwing and targeting that much to your rookie in the first 2 games of his NFL career, you're putting a lot of trust in him. And they're playing the Panthers this week, a struggling team, a struggling defense. We could see the big Chris Olave breakout tomorrow. Tight end start of the week. I am doubling up from last week and going Tyler Higbee again. Now, last week, Higbee, he got 83 yards and a touchdown, so he paid off for fantasy owners. He's going to pay off even more. Now, some fun to know stuff about Higbee. He is the tight end 1 in snap rate at 96%. 96% of the time, he is on the field. He's the tight end 2 in total routes run. Now, a hidden golden metric that a lot of people don't look at in fantasy, if you're trying to figure out a player that's going to put up a lot of value, possibly break out, look at targets per route run. So it's nice to be out on the field all the time, but how many times are you actually being targeted and throwing the ball? Now, he is the tight end 1 in that metric at 23%, which is an astronomically high number for any player. That means every time they have basically 1 out of 4 passing plays are going to him, essentially is what that means, because he's on the field 96% of the time. Now he's facing an Arizona defense who is dead last against tight ends, and it's not even close. They're allowing 24.4 points per game to the tight end position compared to the second worst team, which is the Miami Dolphins at 17.7. So obviously the Cardinals faced Travis Kelce and Darren Waller the first 2 weeks, and Higbee is not either one of them, but he should still flourish this game. Divisional game, the Rams have beat the Cardinals 9 out of their last 10 outings, and I expect Tyler Higbee to put up a lot of points this week. And then finally, I'm going to finish off with my defense, Philadelphia Eagles. They have been killing it through 2 games. They have 3 sacks, 4 interceptions, and a pick 6. And this week they face Carson Wentz, who is the turnover king. Eagles should put up another strong defensive showing. And then finally, to wrap up Fantasy Wizard time, we're going to jump into our FanDuel locked and loaded lineup. So if any of you are playing DFS and you want to win some money, here is my locked and loaded lineup for FanDuel. At quarterback, $9,000, Josh Allen. Playing the Dolphins, we all saw what Lamar did last week. DeAndre Swift, 20 points per game, $8,000 on FanDuel. My start of the week, Leonard Fournette, $7,200. At wide receiver, I'm putting Stephon Diggs to stack with Josh Allen against the Dolphins. Curtis Samuel, he has been averaging 17 points a game, and his 2 breakout weeks have not been priced in yet. He is only $6,300. Jump in there, get Curtis Samuel. Philly has a good defense, but from what we've seen, Curtis is the wide receiver 1 on that team right now. Devonta Smith, he is my 3rd wide receiver. He's only $6,000 on FanDuel, and we have seen his target share doubled last week from week 1. He put up a 12-point game, 80 yards, 7 receptions last week, and he faces Washington 28th against the pass. Very cheap for a player with a lot of potential. At tight end, I got Evan Ingram. The Jaguars paid him a lot of money, and he has been targeted a lot so far. He has one of the highest target rates in the NFL, 4.8 points week 1, 8.1 last week. So we're seeing his involvement grow from week 1 to week 2. And then he's just a cheap $5,200 play that should be a safe floor. If you're going to have Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Swift, you're going to have some cheap players, and I think he's a very safe, cheap player to put in there. To polish off my lineup, Lane and I were talking about this, but Adam Thielen is also only $6,000 against the Lions. He should put up a pretty damn good week, and I think that's also a good safe floor bet for only $6,000. And then finally, my defense of the week of the Eagles at $4,000. So running that back, Josh Allen, DeAndre Swift, Leonard Fournette, Stephon Diggs, Curtis Samuel, Devonta Smith, Evan Ingram, Adam Thielen, Eagles defense. Lock that in for FanDuel.
No, it's on the side of the screen without
Fantasy
the Eagles
Wizard.
defense.
I'm out.
He has spoken. He
Mic
has
drop.
spoken.
Go win some money, guys.
He has spoken. All hail the white guy in the Broncos jersey.
We got a little bit of time to fuck around and round table here for a bit.
Hey, yo, Erica. How you doing?
America?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Why is your mic so far away? Put that shit in your
I thought it was
gullet.
off.
Oh no, you're back on now.
Oh,
we're
back
all
on?
back
Oh,
on now.
Erica's doing good.
Back at it in
Alright,
town.
I do got one more drag race.
Oh yeah, let's
One
talk some
more-
more.
do it.
Fuck it.
What do you got?
Fuck it.
All right. May not be a drag race, but just who would win between, in just about anything, Michael Jackson versus Jeffrey Epstein?
Mike, he's lighter.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen him on the fucking stage?
He'd probably beat him backwards moonwalking.
You goddamn right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
seriously.
Go with probably. Let's analyze this though.
Yeah, Jeff doesn't seem like a cardio.
Not everyone has the backings of the Bushes, the Trumps, and the Clintons. But no one is more smooth of a criminal than Michael Jackson. I'm gonna have to go with Michael Jackson personally, but I mean, he was like what, brought up on 2 major cases, not convicted. Epstein.
Epstein was not a smooth criminal.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, he
I
was.
mean, to be fair,
Until he
Epstein was
wasn't.
never convicted on his last one, but he never should have been out of a jail on his first charge either. So, go watch the documentary. You'll see.
Go
You'll
watch
all
the
see.
documentary. It's
You'll all fucking
God.
see.
Oh yeah.
terrible, terrible.
Well, and I think Jeff.
Watch the Jeffrey Dahmer one at all? I know you watched
No, I want
Oh
to.
God,
It's really good.
episodes, dude. It's
Dahmer's crazy.
Someone, I saw a video on Reddit. Someone did a side by side of the actual, not testimony. It was one of the Jeffrey or Dahmer's victims' sister was talking.
Oh, the I
And-
Hate You, Jeffrey.
Yeah, and they did a side by side with the what they aired in that documentary. Holy fucking shit! Like they fucking nailed it. They nailed it. She was the actress did a fucking great job.
Spot on. Spot on.
All right, that brings
It
me
was
to the next
scary good.
one. Jeffrey versus Jeffrey.
Epstein versus Dahmer.
Yeah.
Oh, Dahmer.
Dahmer.
He ain't gonna. He's gonna make it to the finish line because he's gonna cut up the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was physically fit for the point of hunting. Like, I mean,
He lived in the ghetto and no one fucked with him.
yeah, literally, he was the whitest looking motherfucker in the ghetto, and no one robbed him.
They're like, no.
Honestly, you got the 3 most just fucked up, terrifying serial killers: Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, and the Night Stalker. All 3 of them.
Oh, most people throw Gacy in that one. Most people throw Gacy. Honestly, though, being a serial killer aficionado and the only person here to actually appear on a criminal podcast, just saying. Subtle flex.
What?
Oh yeah, Unethical Podcast. Plug here. Go check them out. Canadian and Australian-based podcast. They're awesome. So yeah, go check out Unethical. But honestly, on my serial killer, like if there is a fucking Mount Rushmore, first of all, Golden State Killer. That man is horrendous. Over 50 rapes, over 14 murders. Like, I mean, if you have not checked into the Golden State Killer, Joseph James D'Angelo, please do spit on his grave when he dies. It'll be a great day. But Gacy still belongs up there, Bundy, and then probably Dahmer. But I think the one who gets in there for me is Golden State. But Golden State would probably win a race against all of them. That man was physically fit. He was a cop at one point. A little chubby, but so was Gacy. Gacy was straight up fat.
Oh yeah, he got around. He did it.
Or maybe Bundy wins. I don't know, Jace, what do you think?
Hold on.
I don't know.
Do you know?
Oh,
it was like on some survival shit.
yeah. Yeah, he was one of those like upper middle class like white boys who probably jogged for fun.
Right.
Yeah, he tried to be. Like, I don't know. I watched too many of these goddamn shits about serial killers. So
The scariest one. He's the Jason of serial killers. Carl Panzram.
Carl
do you
Panzram has a
think
novelty act to him, but you can't prove a lot of the shit. Is the problem with
A lot
Panzram?
was
Is if he's telling the truth, sure.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is a lot of it was collaborated, but also some of
All
it
right, let's get back to
wasn't.
drag racing.
Some
We
of
could
it
go on
wasn't.
about serial killers.
Jeff
forever.
and Jeff.
Jeff and Jeff. Jace, you go first. Having a J name.
What am I doing?
Jeff Epstein versus Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Dahmer.
Yeah.
The people Dahmer.
The people Dahmer.
Nom, 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 nom,
Jeffrey
nom,
Dahmer.
nom,
The people
nom, nom,
Dahmer.
nom.
Jeffrey Dahmer, the people Dahmer. What about you, LBP? Yeah, you haven't heard that one before? Yeah, because there was a Facebook post that's like, what if every serial killer's name rhymed like Hannibal the Cannibal? And they're like, Jeffrey Dahmer, the people Dahmer was like the top comment, and I fucking died. And it's been circled as a meme ever since then. I don't know, what would John Gacy, the Boy DeFacey, I don't know, that one's not as good.
The Boise.
The Boy DeFacey, well, he's from Chicago though.
I know, but yeah.
Ooh, Donald Trump versus John Wayne Gacy in a drag race. Go.
Donald Trump versus John Wayne Gacy?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Gacy's got rolls.
Gacy's got some skills, but, Trump's got lawyers.
And a helicopter.
And a
And a helicopter.
And a private jet.
John Wayne Gacy just has a PDM van.
Ain't much, but it's honest.
If we're
Which actually, they thought it stood for painting, maintenance, and design. Or painting, design, and maintenance, but it actually stood for probably dead or mortified.
all right. What era are we talking about? If we're talking about
70s.
70s?
Free
I
Gacy
think-
versus young Donnie.
Oh, I'm gonna go with during the 70s Gacy.
Yeah, we're talking law school Donnie T.
Yeah, we're talking back
And he
then.
was
I
fucking
don't,
bitches 6'4", 6'5", with big hands. Let me preference big hands.
Yeah, those big
Donald
hands.
Trump.
They're not
Huge,
small.
huge motherfuckers. Like a chick could only take half of a pinky. Okay?
Manhole
huge.
covers.
Yeah.
Back in the day, 70s, definitely Gacy. He got arrested so many times. They're just like, we don't want to handle this. Just get him out of here.
Just get him the fuck out of here.
Yeah. But nowadays, Donnie's got that copter.
What, does he? Does he have it anymore?
I got a cop chopping the clip, and
He
Donnie's like,
used
I
to
fuck
get one
with
for
that
free
shit.
for 4 years. Now he doesn't. Does he still have a chopper?
All while paying $750 in income tax. But Jace, let's get back on to football here. What is your game of the week this week? I know, obviously, you guys got a great game Sunday night, San Francisco versus the Broncos. Is that your game of the week on prime time?
No, that's definitely not my game of the week. Denver's got an identity issue,
Vote of confidence.
and
So do you.
49ers, they're missing Mike McDaniel as well. I'm going to be honest. In my opinion, game of the week is going to be the Bills and Dolphins. I think that's going to be a great game. Same with the Lions Vikings. It'd probably be one of those two.
It's really where the AFC East is right now, is kind of between those two teams. It's looking.
Let's not forget the Monday night shootout, Cowboys and Giants.
Banger. I got Giants in that one.
No.
You actually like the Giants in that one.
Low key, Packers Bucks. I would hope would be fun, but with all the injuries and missing players, it's just if Evans and Godwin were there and Devontae Adams was there,
There's no Devon. Yeah.
yeah, if they had all their playmakers, it'd be fun. I'm gonna my game of the week, Bills Dolphins. I think that's gonna be a really
'cause
fun
it's gonna
game,
be the biggest test for the Dolphins this early in the season.
and they're at home.
After coming off that game last week, it's going to be a good test. Even without
And,
Mike
and for the Bills, it's the prove it.
And it's
If they do that, it's proven. Like, we just did it 3 in a row like this,
it's not
bitches.
50 games. The Bills are like, they're not here to fuck around. Like, we're here to win games. Like, we're going to fucking smash mouth football. You know what I mean?
Well, they just beat the defending world champions and then the number 1 seed in the AFC last year,
Which,
and
I mean,
neither of
yeah,
which they
but
just
Tennessee,
smashed
like,
them.
They lost in the first.
Tennessee, shit, I don't know if Tennessee's going to win 6 games this year the way they looked. It looks bad. Derrick Henry doesn't have it.
Out for the year. Yeah, shout out to the boy.
That is, yeah, the boy.
The boy.
Yep.
That's a huge hit for the line, though, too, which was shitty.
Well, we can just go into pick'ems, and we'll start with that one. Raiders, Titans, boys. Who you got in that one? Nation's got -2 to Vegas, 57.6% vote on the Raiders. So
Raiders.
Raider Nation.
shut the fuck up. Don't say it. Don't
I'm
you
going to say what I want.
dare say let's ride.
Raiders and who else?
Oh, I
Titans.
wasn't going that direction, but now I will.
Raiders.
Raiders, that's right.
Raider Nation. Let's ride.
Raiders.
All right, Erica.
What's up?
Raiders, Titans.
I'm gonna go Raiders. Remember the Titans, but it's not always a good memory.
Fucking great.
Damn, that was a zinger.
Yeah, that was a zinger for the guy who knows nothing about football. That's pretty good.
That was fantastic.
I got the Raiders by 6 in this one here. I think you see probably a surprising high scoring game. Both of our defenses have not looked the greatest. I know we got Trayvon Morg back this week, but honestly, I could see something like 34-28. Like this game could blow out. Derrick Henry probably blows up a bit against our running game, but honestly, it's down to Carr versus Tannehill. Carr is just a step above, and ever the optimist Raiders fan, I like to think that the new system, Carr's looking a little bit better. Last week we didn't finish, but in the first half, we can start putting together games like we looked in the first half of last week against the Cardinals, then maybe we can start living up to the fucking hype we have. Moving on, though, we have the shootout of the week here. Texans-Bears. You have 1-1 Texans versus the 1-1 Bears. Texans looking for their first win.
I kind of like the Texans in this one.
We'll start with you, Lane. Talk it up.
Texans, same thing as the Lions. They're not as well established as the Lions, not as much talent. Gritty, they're going to make you earn that fucking W. And Chicago just looks like shit. Granted, they have their defense to at least back them and keep them in the ball game, but offensive-wise, the first two games, granted the weather was shitty the first game, but last week against Green Bay, I don't think Fields has thrown for over 100 yards yet. Mooney hasn't produced at all. Cole Kmet hasn't gotten a fucking fantasy point the first 2 weeks. Montgomery looks good.
Mhm.
What people expect.
Yeah, Montgomery
You know
looks
that-
really good.
you know
Yeah.
that- you know, I appreciate you, but you're like one of the only fucking people that understood his value.
Yep.
And I think he leads the league actually going into this week with the most missed tackles.
Yep. I think he's 1 or 2 in yards after contact, too.
Montgomery, he's doing his thing this year, but the rest of their offense just looks like shit. Who's their number one wideout actually, statistically?
Statistically, number 1 in receptions right now would be Equanimous St. Brown with 3 receptions for 57 yards and a tutty.
Yeah, the Bears have only thrown for 28 total pass attempts in the first 2 games, which is the lowest to start a season of any team in NFL history.
In NFL history?
Oh, sorry, not NFL. Since
Oh, it's
the
like-
in the Super Bowl era.
Okay, gotcha. I'm like, God damn, that'd be something.
Fucking impressive though. That just speaks
Super Bowl era. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think the first game you got to kind of throw an asterisk on that, but the second game you're kind of just seeing a team that's not passing the ball well at all.
Who do you got, Cole? We'll just go counterclockwise.
Texans, obviously they're giving Chicago 3 here. Honestly, I got the Texans on the swing in that one. I think they win by a tutty.
I am gonna go Bears. I think Texans are getting beat up on the ground. Montgomery's a great running back. They're going to be able to use that to hopefully open up the play action with Justin Fields, utilize his talents. They're at home. It's not going to be a high scoring game. I'm going to take the Bears to win maybe 17-10. It's not going to be a pretty game. Nope.
The Bears are gonna lose. I like that. I like the Texans on this one.
Love it.
All right, I really do. They're playing a lot harder. I mean, Lane said it a couple times tonight. They're just playing to win.
Grit will win you
Playing
games.
their fucking heart out.
And
And and I do love me some Lovey Smith as a Packers fan. I respect the fuck.
I
out
didn't
of
even
that
bring
man.
that up. That's a factor here. I
I
think Lovey's got
respect that
something.
man. He took that Bears team to the Super Bowl.
Dark Lovey.
Who do we got next on the docket?
On the docket, we got your boys' team, Chief Colts. Chiefs favored by 5.5. I'll start this one off. Obvious Chiefs. I think Indy looks bad. They look bad. I don't think Matt Ryan's got a lot of juice left in the tank. It's clear Jonathan Taylor can't carry him, especially behind whatever this line is now. That is not a top 5, top 10 line. They just have too many problems to overcome. I think coming off of Jacksonville, you have a little bit more piss, in your fucking game. You're a little bit more pissed off. You're going to go after it against Indy. I don't think, or not Indy, KC. I don't think they get shut out, but it's still not a pretty game. 31-14.
Sir Carson's to look at the chat.
What's up?
Sir Carson's look at the chat.
Oh, which chat?
Oh, look at your chat, Sir Carr. Yeah. I don't think we have to go.
Obviously, you got Chiefs.
Oh, Lane's mic sucks. Hold it up to your mouth, yeah.
I think I have a feeling we're
Love
gonna
you,
have
Sir
a
Carr.
Bills Titans situation on our hands this time around.
Really?
Yep. So last week, I said the Bills were gonna win 44-28, and wasn't far off. And I think we're gonna have a similar game this time, except I don't think the Colts are gonna put up 20 points. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna go 42-16. I think it's going to be a
Touchdown, 3 field goals for the Colts.
yep.
Who they even got kicking now after they let Regal go?
I'm gonna knock that down to 12. 4 field goals.
Damn, yeah, whoever the Colts kicker is, start him apparently.
Oh yeah, start that motherfucker.
Yeah, start that motherfucker because they ain't scoring.
Uh-huh.
Clearly in the red
got
zone, the
big.
Chiefs are deadly.
Who do you got, Tanner?
Oh, I think I just said it loud and proud. The Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I think those Chiefs are gonna ride those Colts to victory, man.
Historically accurate,
happen.
Cotton.
And next up, we have Jay Symes' Game of the Week. The Buffalo Bills travel on down, take a little late September vacation to visit the Miami Dolphins, coming fresh off of a win against Baltimore and a comeback victory in Lamar Jackson. The Bills have decisively won their first 2 games of the season. So, Jace will kick it back for your Game of the Week. Who wins?
This is going to be a fantastic game. It's not going to be as quite high scoring as Ravens Dolphins was, and as much as I love the Dolphins, I just don't think they're I do not quite think that they're going to be able to overcome the Bills. But I do think it's going to be a high scoring affair, and I'm going to take the Bills to win 38-34.
38-34, and that's... So, yeah, it's not going to be 41-38, but it will be 38-34.
That's why I said not quite as high, but still up there.
Yeah,
Almost there.
yeah, mouse hair off. There we go. Laney boy, where you at, bud?
This is tough, but I really think Miami might pull this one off. Which is tough because I just said how the Bills aren't really here to fuck around anymore. Like they know this is their year to. If they're gonna do it, they need to do it now. Because last year we almost saw them fuck up after about halfway through the point in the season when they almost didn't make the playoffs. They almost lost the division, would have fell a couple seeds, so on and so forth. But I think Miami will go 35-32. Yeah, 35-32.
Oh, I just announced it. I didn't actually give my prediction. Well, let's see here. I think Mike McDaniel's got a little Randy Marsh in him right now because he's carrying around his fucking balls in a wheelbarrow. All right, he's hauling them bitches around, which is really impressive because I think the man is only like 5'10". So if they're hanging that low to the ground, there's got to be some chafing issues. There's got to be some chafing issues. He's going to go ahead and see a masseuse, though, this week. And I am actually picking the upset here. While I believe in the Bills, I think it's gonna be a really hard week getting rid of Micah Hyde and adjusting to life after Micah. So, yep. Yeah, exactly. So, in this situation, I actually have the Dolphins pulling what they did last week in a high-scoring upset. I'm going to flip your score, Jace. I'm going to go 38-34 Miami.
I like it.
So that is my upset of the week, is Miami pulling it off against Baltimore.
Yep.
Miami.
Miami?
I'm
I'm
taking
being
the Bills,
dumb.
huh?
No. I meant I got confused by what he said. No, I'm taking the Bills. Buffalo has a better defense than the Ravens do. I believe that. So I think they're just gonna edge it out just a little bit more.
Fucking edge it.
Edge it out.
Fucking edge it, bud. Thank you, Sir Carr, for being our audio feedback. Lane went to drain the Mighty Chief. So moving on, we got a hella week for divisional matchups, though, boys. We got the Lions versus the Vikings here. Vikings are favored by 6. I think we all kind of gave it. I know Lane did a pretty good breakdown of this one here. Jace, what's your honest take on this game? Do you think the Lions win, cover the 6?
I have Kirk Cousins as my start of the week. I think that the Vikings are going to put up points and Kirk's going to be valuable in fantasy. But I do have the Detroit Lions upsetting them this week. I think the Lions are going to win 24-21. I think it's going to be a field goal.
Interesting. I have the Lions covering, but I still think the Vikings. Kevin O'Connell just has that offense looking better. Last week, I think Kirk just made bad plays. They were moving the ball. They didn't play horrendous, but they just didn't give themselves a chance to win in that game. And I think a lot of that just comes in the play of both Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense. They rebound this week, though, and I think they beat the Lions, but not decisively, 27-24.
Just throw that in there. Darius Slay was on another fucking level that night.
Big play, Slay. Indeed.
Like he was a monster. That was a superhuman play. Like just action from him. Like seriously, dude could not be stopped. So I think that was a big reason for their win over Minnesota there. But
And they're now facing the team who traded him away.
exactly, I like Detroit in this one. I think Minnesota, maybe they're off on the wrong footing now. 1-1. Shit hot win in week 1. That was, yeah, they were riding a high. Eagles shut them down. I don't know if they have the emotional identity for the third game. And the Lions have proven they fucking have it.
Yep.
I think the Lions are going to bring it all year long. Would not be surprised if they squeaked into the playoffs. And at this point, just based on talent and grit, because they're a better coach team this year. I think they have several key players making jumps. Amon-Ra being probably the main one. I think you're seeing the appearance of the sun god himself now in full effect this year. And honestly, would not be surprised if he was a top 5 receiver at the end of the year at this rate. He's Jared Goff's go-to weapon. He runs clean routes, and he has everything I said he was when he was drafted. He's got all the tools to maybe not pop off on a stat sheet as far as his 40 number and everything, but he's got everything that it needs to make a star wide receiver. He's got the game awareness. He's literally next level. He's Devontae Adams-esque in how he just thinks about the game from the wide receiver standpoint. So that's why I like the Lions in this one, but Minnesota's still a really damn good team. Lions, Vikes. You're good.
It's tough because, as you just explained, everything, the Lions, they're there this year. They're not going to just walk over. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do want the Vikings to win this game, but I like the Lions to at least cover 6. I think they'll do a good game.
Yeah, betting wise, I hinge on the Lions, but if you're money lining, Vikes.
We were 50-50 on that. So the tiebreaker, Erica.
Oh, shit. All right. Normally I go for the Vikings just because Vikings are cool as shit. But I got a feel about the Lions. I'm just saying, Lions. I got a good feeling. I think the Lions might do it.
We convinced him more than you guys did.
No.
All right. Speed round, boys, and we're going to get out of here. I got home shit to do. Jace has got shit to do. I know we all got nights to get to here on Saturday night. Got to go be a good house bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I do. I
I
promised
thought you
I'd
were talking to
vacuum
me. I
and
was
shit
like,
tonight. Yeah, I'm talking shit on me. Listen, every man needs to contribute around the house. That's a serious point.
I got
But
an Xbox
second,
to steal from this guy.
exactly.
Power round. What?
Power round. Ravens, Patriots.
Ravens, and this is the only one I'm really gonna elaborate on. 2.5 point spread. I think they're disrespecting the fuck out of Baltimore. I think Baltimore's gonna run away with this one. Yep, 38-17. Baltimore wins.
JK is pissed going into this game. Baltimore by a lot. 28-10.
I have Lamar, so Baltimore.
Baltimore around the table sounds like.
I think they go off. They're
Ravens
pissed after
have a
last week,
horrible
too.
Pass defense. The Patriots are gonna throw up at least a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, but they still have Matt Patricia calling their fucking plays and Joe Judge.
Point taken. I like the 10 call.
Bengals, Jets.
Bengals.
Bengals, but the Jets cover the spread.
Yep.
Jets.
It's a get right game.
27-24.
I think there's a trend here, and I think it's going to continue. Jets.
Eagles, Commanders.
Yeah. They're flying.
More than a tutty because they got a negative 6.5.
I don't know about more than I think it could be a close game. I would like to think so just because it's a good game. But Eagles are balling. So,
It'll be more than a tutty.
yeah.
Yep.
They should have been
38-24.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 tuds.
Yep.
Saints, Panthers.
Saints.
Saints.
Well, they came marching in, right?
That was lame. That's the joke you should have put away.
Fuck you.
To the kennel with that one.
I didn't even whip out the other one.
That's what she said.
Oh, no,
Afternoon games, boys. Jags, Chargers.
Chargers if Herbert plays. Jags if Herbert's out.
No faith in Chase Daniel, huh?
No. He's been chasing a starter spot for quite a while now.
He's been chasing a fucking paycheck. Man gets banged. But Chargers.
Pick Jags in both.
Really?
Either way, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Either way,
Dude,
I
the
think
second I
Herbert's,
blink, the
unless Herbert's all hopped up on Vicodin like Brett Favre, he's
Tramadol is the
He's
approved
gonna
one
be
now.
distracted.
Tramadol.
He's gonna be distracted and worried about getting hit.
Fair. All right, Rams cards.
Cardinals.
I'm going Cardinals as well. I think they're going to ride the momentum off their comeback from last week, and I think last year they destroyed the Rams when the Rams played them at home. I'm taking the Cardinals.
Interesting take. I got Rams barely 28-27. I like 20 to score 28. You can tell me.
24-20 Cardinals.
They're going to put it together at some point, right? You think? They did last week. Battle of the Birds, Falcons, Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm just going to take... They both suck. There's no spread. It's an even game. I'm going to go with the team with more talent.
Yeah, you got to. If there's no spread, you got to give. I mean, maybe a little bit of credence to Atlanta there, but
It's in Seattle.
no, that's what I mean. Is you got to give Atlanta a little bit of credence because if it's an even game, you're supposed to naturally give 3 to the home team. So if it's an even game, that pretty much means what +3 for they're kind of favoring Atlanta a little bit. But I got to go against you guys here, honestly, because looking at the injury report here, Quandre Diggs questionable, Jamal Adams is already out for the season. They got Joey Blount, Justin Coleman, some spare piece guys that are doubtful, but Shelby Harris, a big piece along their D-line, is confirmed out. Honestly, I think this is one where the Falcons finally sneak through because they fought the first couple of weeks here. Haven't been the best team, but they fought a little bit. 31-27 against the Rams, 27-26 against the Saints. They're not losing by a lot. I have the Falcons here. So, Tanner?
I'm backing up Cole on this one with the Falcons. Don't expect Kyle Pitts to do shit. Seattle's linebackers are fucking great. They honestly are.
Denver's backup tight ends dunked all over them.
I think they're getting into a rhythm.
Okay. Fair.
It's fair enough. Packers, Bucks, Battle of the Bay.
Fuck you.
Honestly, Rodgers.
I'm going Green Bay as well. I'm going to die on this hill. I love Brady, but from a pure quarterback standpoint, Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tom Brady. And I believe that. I think he is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, and I think he'll put away Tampa Bay at home, especially when we saw what Brady did last week when he had none of his weapons either. Even with just Mike Evans, he could still, 3-3 at halftime against the Saints. I mean, Brady struggles if he doesn't have anybody to throw to, and I think Aaron Rodgers will come up on top.
Rodgers, just
Mic
gotta double
drop.
check. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, you're a Packers fan, Doug.
I'm gonna go Roger.
Roger.
Fuck the Brady Bunch.
All right, night game, boys. Niners, Broncos.
I'm going Niners as well. Denver needs to figure out their identity.
Broncos, this is where they figure it out.
That's what I always say. Figure it out. I'm going to take Denver too. Because I don't like the Niners.
Plus, there's one thing.
Pure spite.
Here's the thing. Russell may be figuring it out with Denver. He knows how to play against the Niners.
He always beats the Niners, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can't even get a play call in 40 seconds, you're not going to beat Kyle Shanahan.
No, I agree, but still, I think I still like the Broncos barely in this one. I'll take them 3 points. Maybe 20-17. Surprisingly defensive affair, but I still got Russell pulling it out at the end. I mean, he's passed for almost 600 yards in 2 games. It's not like he's horrendous. People need to start giving this man a fucking break. He's old. He's 30 years old, which is not old, but like for an NFL quarterback, he's shaking off the rust. Didn't really play in preseason. He's also coming off of a lackluster year in Seattle. Yeah, he's shaking off the rust. Honestly, and there was too much hype coming in, and almost this is Broncos. I guess you and I are at different points in our seasons. You guys are 1-1, and you're like, figure this shit out. I'm like, thank God we're making these mistakes now.
Don't forget Jerry Judy's not playing either, and I think
I know.
that's going to also,
I agree, but I
Judy
think
was his number one target in the first 2 games. He was relying on him.
Lee and I just kind of brought this one up today when we were just talking at work, though. It's better to make the mistakes now than week 16, than to lose your identity later on. It's better to find it now. You can find it in weeks 1, 2, 3, 4.
Have done the last 3 years, going 8-3, and then all of a sudden they lose 7 games in a row at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Be like the Packers, be. Sorry.
Beat.
Beat 12-0 and then lose to the Kyle Orton Kansas City
I
Chiefs.
went to that game. I was at that game. That's literally probably my favorite game I've ever gone to because it was Kyle Orton's first game with KC. We won for the field goals, and the Packers were 12-0 with Aaron Rodgers.
It was just
That was one of the best games I've ever.
Jace was there. I was yelling the whole fucking time.
Dude, I was.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
We are moving on here. Power round. You're good. I just wanted to end on the eating ass comment. That was perfect timing. Monday Nighter, Giants, Cowboys. I'm going to leave this one here. Giants. I'm not sipping the Kool-Aid, but I am saying that the Giants are better than we thought. They could sneak, could be the sneaking as the second best in the NFC East. I don't believe in them that much yet, but Coach Dabbs, there's something to be said about coaching. I like Coach Dabbs.
I respect it. I'm going the Cowboys. I think the offenses are comparable right now with Dak out. But I'm going to go with the team with the better defense, and that's Dallas.
Cooper Rush is Tom Brady. Come on, I'm getting you.
That's exactly what I was going to say, too.
Yep.
The better defense is going to win.
Yep. That's going to be a low scoring game. Like 13-10 Dallas. I don't even, there might not even be a touchdown scored, so. Unless they
I got to start
39.
I have to start one of them. Who do I start?
Yeah.